Welcome back. Day 3 of the challenge, and here you are. Fantastic. All right, so today we'll be practicing standing poses, some twisting, and a little bit of back bending, along with some more inversion. So have ready a few blankets, a strap, have a chair, we may or may not use it, be near a wall, and have a couple blocks, okay? If you don't have any of those things, it's okay. We won't be holding anything very long, so you'll be fine. All right, so if you have them, do gather them, and then come back and stand in Tadasana. So with the inner edges of the feet together, standing in Tadasana, quiet breath. Finding that place of grounding. Lift up. Urdhva Hastasana. Raise your arms up. Keep the shoulders descending. Reach up through the hands. Bring the thumbs back. Bring the arms back. Get a little curve to the upper back. Lift the chest. Lifting up. Feel the dorsal spine moving into the body. Back ribs moving in. Keep the thighs moving back. And then bring the head back. And bring your arms down. Urdhva Namaskarasana. Bring your arm back, elbow back, take the other hand, walk the arm up. So we're repeating some of these just so that you can get that familiarity with the movement in the body. These are good to do to open the shoulders, to get that lift of the chest, especially when you're practicing for inversions. And then release, bring your arms out to the side. Other side, you can bring the arm back, again rotating, extend the other arm out, swing the hand up, catch the fingers, see how much higher you can get today, or more connection. And if you don't feel any difference, no problem, it's only been day 3, so as we practice more and more, we're able to see the effects in our body. Effects in our body, the effects with our breath, and our mental state. And then release, extend your arms out, rotate the shoulders, lift up, take the hands to Namaskar, lifting up, dropping the shoulders. It's getting that curve to the upper back, swing the arms back, back ribs supporting the opening of the chest, stretch up through the elbows, right up through the fingertips. And then bring the head back, and then bring the hands down. Okay, we're going to come back into Vrksasana again. So that external rotation, remember at any point you can use the wall for your balance. So taking the leg up, hip descending, lengthen the inner leg, draw back through the outer knee, bring your arms up, and then again, coming into Namaskar. Extend the arms, lift up. Look out in front of you, soft eyes, relaxed eyes. If you can look up, so just observe your balance, start to bring your gaze up a little higher. Chest is lifting, and then bring the hands down. If you fall, no problem. All right, so just the first thing in the morning, it's good to see where you are. Where is your balance? Where does your mind go? And bring your mind back. All right, so other side. Bring your foot to the inside of the leg. Hands on the hips. Extend the arms out. And then bring the arms up. Reach up with the arms. So have that opposing action. Lifting up away from the floor to help support you. Looking gently forward. Soft eyes. Starting to look up a little bit higher. Keep the press of the foot, connection at the thigh. And then bring the hand down. Bring the leg down. Stand back in Tadasana. I'm going to do some jumping. Exhale, jump the feet apart. Inhale, jump the feet together. We're going to stand the front of the mat, and we'll also jump back. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Moving into Uttanasana, jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, bend the knees, jump forward. Uttanasana. So again, walking or jumping forward, you do what needs to happen for your body condition. Namaskara. Tadasana. Inhale. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale. Uttanasana. Looking forward, lengthening. Bend the knees, walk or jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here we're going to jump your right leg forward. Come wide stride. Utthita Trikonasana. Bring your hand onto your shin. Pressing both feet, strength, extending both legs. That firm connection. Turn and lift up. Exhale, coming down. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then step the other foot forward. Turning the back heel. Straightening the front leg, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. Buttock moving forward, chest turning, lift up through the arm. And then come back down, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step or walk back. Bend the knee. Jump forward, Uttanasana. Exhale, release down. Inhale, raise the arms up. Namaskar. Tadasana. One last time. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. Uttanasana. Bend. Jump back or walk back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step your right leg forward. Nice long lunge. Come up into Virabhadrasana I. So you're getting that external rotation, pressing, and then come over into Parsvakonasana. If you can't reach the floor, take your hand on your ankle, lift up, and then bring your arm over the head. Turn the chest, press the bottom arm into that leg, and turn, look up underneath your arm. Bring the hand up, hand on your hip, straighten the front leg, come back into that lunge, bring your leg back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then lunge forward with the other leg. Come into that bent knee position. Hand either on the outside of the foot. At this point, you can also use the block or have the hand on the ankle, hand on the inside of the foot. So extending back, lengthen, turn the chest. Use that arm to turn the back body, turn the front chest, and bring the arm up, and extend the arm over the head. And then coming back, bring both hands to the floor, coming into that lunge again. Move your legs back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend the knees. Jump or walk forward, Uttanasana. Looking up, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaste. Okay, so now we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to go into Virabhadrasana I. So you'll stand in Tadasana, and you'll bring your feet wide. Keep your hands on your hips, so you're turning that back heel, externally rotating that front thigh. Whoops. And make sure you're well grounded in that back heel. You just saw I was a little off balance, so you have to have the balance between the front foot and the back foot. And enough distance. I'm going to bend the knee now, and when I bend the knee, you can see the heel lifts up. So I need a little bit more stride. So I'm going to take that back heel back a little bit more so that the lower back can lengthen, and I can come into that more bent knee position. Pressing the back heel, turning the back hip. Keep your hands on your hips, thumbs at the tailbone. Tailbone move forward, lift the chest. Roll your shoulders back. So feeling that little bit of sensation behind the dorsal spine, lift the chest, bring your arms out, and bring the arms up. Bring your hands into Namaskar, reach up. Breathe, inhale, come up. Bring your hands out to the side, turn, Vimasana, hands on your hips. Adjust that back heel. So you're turning toward the wall now. You're turning toward the front leg as much as possible. Keep that back heel grounded. And you can just first see, did you give yourself enough stride? One hip may be different than the other. So even though you adjust on one side, it may need an extra adjustment on the other side. So press the heel, turn that hip forward, turn the whole back body forward, tailbone moving down, extend the arms out to the side. Keep that back leg active, extending while the front knee is bent. Rotate the arms and the shoulders, lift up. Either keep the hands in Urdhva Hastasana. If that's difficult, you can take a strap between the hands. If you can bring the hands together, then lift up. Inhale, come up. So keep breathing. That's a warrior pose as well. Virabhadrasana I. So then bring your feet together. Stand back in Tadasana. I'm going to have you get a block for this one. So just have the block handy. Let's just step the feet apart. You're going to turn the hips the same way, turning toward the front leg. We come into Parivrtta Trikonasana. So again, you're lengthening forward, extending. You can have the hand on the inside of the foot. Press the hand down. So find a place that you can use that hand to straighten the arm and then start to turn the chest. Back body starts to turn. Hips move towards one another. Turn the chest and swing the arm up. And then bring the hand down. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet. We'll turn to do the other side. So bring your block. Have it there on the inside of the foot. So this is not the final pose. We're just going to move into this sequentially, extending. Bring your hand onto that block. Now you're going to turn, so you may need to adjust that back leg a little bit. So you want to be able to turn. So you want the hips to remain stable. So the outer hips moving towards one another, pressing the back heel, and then start to turn the chest. You can see the back ribs moving down. Turn the front chest toward the wall in front of you, and then extend the arm up. For some of you, you may not need to use a block or want to use a block. Bring your feet parallel. We'll do it again. Go to the first side. Lengthening. Take your right hand in front of you. Take your hand on the outer side of the foot. Pressing. Turn the chest. Extend the arm up. And then coming down, just balancing yourself. Hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet. Turn that back heel. Turn the front leg. Reach up. So again, you're extending, you're lengthening. So the first, before you're twisting, the back is extending from the tailbone through the crown of the head. You can bring the fingertips onto the floor. Hips are compacting. Outer hips are moving towards one another. Press into the back heel. Press the fingertips down or use the block. Turn the chest and reach up. Breathe. And then coming down. Hands on your hips. Come up. All right, so now bring your feet together. Come back to Tadasana. And you can use that block. Just take the block between the legs. Come into Utkatasana again. So holding onto the block, bend the ankles, bend the knees, bending at the hips. Keep the hands on the hips, elbows moving back. Bring the arms out to the side for a little bit of balance, and then shift your weight to more of the heels, so the hips are over the heels, and then reach the arms up. Hook the thumbs, lift up. Inhale, come up. Come into Uttanasana, concave back, fingertips on the floor, lift up. Much like Ustrasana, so you're getting that curve to the upper back. Fingertips on the floor, lift up. And then inhale, come up. And stand back in Tadasana. Find your breath. All right, so now you're going to come down onto your knees. And just take the impression that you had when we were turning in Parivrtta Trikonasana. You turned with one side of the rib cage, you turned with the other side. Now both sides of the ribs are going to lift up. So you're pressing the feet down, the fronts of the ankles. You can come onto the toes to give you a little bit more height. Hands on your hips. Press the hands down. Move the tops of the hips down. Move the tailbone forward. Lift up through the chest. So again, here you're getting that lift, back dorsal spine moving into the body, keeping the toes pressed to keep you, when you go back, to keep the balance. So I'm pressing the toes, lifting the chest, and then I catch hold of the ankles, the heels. Press and lift. And then coming back up. So we're not going to go very far into that. Another way you can practice that is to have blocks, or if you have a bolster, just lay it across the ankles. So we'll do it one more time. So you're opening here, lengthening the front thighs, middle buttocks forward, top of the buttocks moving down, tailbone moving into the body. Absorb the spine into the body from the tailbone up through the chest. Take your hands on the blocks, fingertips pointing back. Press down and lift the chest. So now feeling the base, your knees, your shins, your ankles, and your feet. Press down and lift up. Breathe. And then release. So you'll come into forward Virasana now. Lengthen, widen the feet, extend your arms, drawing your hips back. So bring extension to both sides of the trunk as the sides of the trunk move down to the thighs. Release your head. If your head doesn't go to the floor, you can have a block there. All right, and then coming up, you're going to lay down on the mat now. Just before we do that, let's go into Adho Mukha Svanasana one last time. Extend the arms, extend through the side trunk, extend the legs, move the hips back. Feel the contact of the hands, pressing into the mat, lifting up through the upper arms, lifting up from the wrist to the forearms to the upper arms, up through the hips. Again, coming back to that contact with the feet. If the heels don't go to the floor, no problem, but that's the direction you want to be going. The heels are moving toward the wall behind you. And then lay down on your mat, face down. Extend each leg. Be on the fronts of the thighs, tailbone in, buttocks toward the floor. And here we'll just come onto the forearms. for a preparation for Bhujangasana. Have your hands, your forearms down, elbows, and curve that upper back. Where you went into Ustrasana, move the upper back forward toward the chest. Breathe. Keep the legs active. Kneecaps are lifting. Middle buttocks moving down. If that was difficult, you can take your hands in front of you. We'll do it twice. Take your hands forward a little bit and see, without bending, without straightening your arms, can you scoop that back body, bring that back rib cage, dorsal spine in, and lift the chest. Finally straightening the arms. Press into the feet, lift the knees, activate the buttocks. And then coming down. We'll come into Salabhasana. So be on the fronts of the feet. We'll keep our feet hips width apart. Final pose, feet are together. Take your hands back. Hook your thumbs. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your head. So before you start, head is off the floor, shoulders are rolling back. And then lift up through the legs. Middle buttocks, tailbone moving out, down. And reach the arms back. Stretch out through the toes. And then come down. We'll do it one more time. Change the cross on the thumbs. Lift the head. So the chest is lifted off the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Lift the arms. And now, inhale, lift the legs up. Breathe. And then come down. Good. Come into forward Virasana. Extend, lengthen. Take a few breaths there. Let your lower back relax. Let your lower back widen. And then come up. All right, we're going to get ready for Urdhva Sirsasana again. And then we'll go into shoulder stand. So have your blankets ready. You can have a strap there. So first coming into Urdhva Sirsasana, again, interlace the fingers, be on the outer edge. You can bring your hands right behind. So showing where the hands are at the back of the head, at the rounded part of the head, and then elbows are moving towards one another. Put your thumbs right at the mound and press and lift the forearms up. So the forearms are lifting, shoulders are descending, which is the same when you're on the floor. So your forearms are moving toward the floor, your shoulders are lifting up toward the ceiling. So again, come onto the crown of the head. Be on your toes. Using the legs to help lift up through the side trunk. Keep the hands, the wrists, the forearms grounded. Elbows, outer arms moving in. Walk your feet in, lift your hips, and swing up through your leg. Lift up. As you lift that leg up away from the floor, keep the base, the forearms, the wrist, the hands in contact. Other side. Then come onto the toes, lift up. And then release. Extend your arms forward. You can bring your hands up a little bit. Extend both sides of the trunk. And then sit on the heels, interlace the fingers behind you, and get that rotation for the arms. So in shoulder stand, the shoulders are moving back, the shoulder blade is moving down, and the arms are supporting you, the hands on the back. So get that rotation, move the chest forward. So when we take the hands back, we take the thumbs to the outside, fingers facing down. Bring the elbows towards one another. So we do a little bit different when we are up in shoulder stand, so I'll explain when I go in. All right, so now you're going to bring your blankets. Measure your distance. So you can come onto your blankets and bring your feet to the wall. Okay, so when I look between my legs, I have about that much blanket showing. So that's about where you want to be, all right? So I'm just going to turn this the other way. When you're on your blankets, you want to have the rolled edges, these nice rolled edges for your shoulders. Okay? You can see the difference in this side. These edges are not as nicely rounded here. So think of the princess and the pea. You know, you just don't want to have your shoulders on a bumpy surface. And then you can bring your mat back. Actually, I wanted to show the other way, didn't I? Yes. So natural knowing was working for me. So I wanted to show you this way with the rolled edges toward the wall. So take your blankets, roll the edges, and still have that same distance that you just measured. Okay, now you can take the other side of your mat. So you wouldn't take it all the way up to the end. That's where your neck goes. You want to be able to turn your head and not be caught on a mat. So this is mainly for your elbows and your upper arms, so you're not going to slide on the blanket. All right, so now I've got about 1 thumb's length away from the edge of the blanket to my shoulders. Elbows are pressing down. Remember when we took our hands behind our head like this? So the elbows are in line. Different pose, but still the arms are in line with the shoulders. And then bring the fingertips onto the floor. If you need a bolster under your hips to swing up, you can do that. Sometimes we face the wall and you have a chair there to swing up. But here, today, you're going to bring your knees towards your chest, and you can press your fingertips. So get a little bit of momentum. Move your legs over. So using the strength of the legs, press the hands into the floor, and then move the legs over to the wall. Okay, rolling the shoulders under. I've taken a little bit more distance. I want to lift my legs up and then bring the hands onto the back. So the fingers are moving in toward the spine. The whole palm is on the back. Thumbs are to the side. Okay, so you can stay in this position. If you're too far away from the wall, you can bend your knees a bit, but I want you to get the lift of the chest. Keep one foot pressing toward the wall. Raise your other leg up, Ekapada, like you did in Sirsasana. Keep that lower hip lifting up. Extend up through the top leg. Outer hips compact. If you're away from the wall, you can just bring your toes away from the wall. Extend your heel, toes moving down toward the floor. And then coming back, both feet to the wall. So using the wall for a little balance, confidence, support. Press the foot into the wall, lift the other leg up. So you want the foot, the calf, the thigh in line with the hip. So move that leg. You can find a place on the ceiling to find the distance that you need. You can take the other foot away from the wall. Walk your hands down. Breathe. Keep readjusting yourself. And then coming down, bring your feet to the wall again. If you can bring your legs all the way down to Halasana, do that. If you've misjudged your me- measurement, then keep your feet at the wall and just bend your knees. Halasana. Relax your breath. And then bring your fingertips behind you. Press the fingertips down to keep the weight of the hips from just crashing down. So you're pressing the hands, pressing the arms, releasing the hips down slowly, and then bringing your feet down onto the floor. Slide your head and shoulders toward the wall, and then bring your feet together, Baddha Konasana. Release your arms to your side. And just be there. Observe your breath. And then bring your knees together. And roll onto your right side. Press yourself up. Move your mat down. Have a blanket for Shavasana. Lay your blanket down. When you arrange yourself for Shavasana, you want to make sure you're completely on the mat. So if you're going to do Shavasana on a mat, then be on the mat. If you're doing it on the floor, be on the floor. So that when you lengthen yourself out, you don't have any other distractions. So your heels extending, your arms extending. So you move everything away from you, straps, blankets, anything that could distract you in Shavasana. Make sure that the pelvis is tucked under. And then just extend the legs, extend the arms. You can adjust the head, lengthening the back of the head so the throat is soft and not tense, so that the eyes are soft and relaxed down, and the tongue is relaxed as well. So it's moving into the root of the throat. So bringing softness there. And then bring softness into the abdomen, feeling the breath move in the belly. Feeling the breath move in the lungs. And with that, just allow the whole back body to spread and widen. Allow yourself to come into the breath, following your inhalation, following your exhalation. Relax the lips. You can moisten the lips so that they're not stuck. Softening the lips, softening the inner mouth, all the way back to the throat. Let the inner eyes, corners of the inner eyes descend straight down. Outer arm, outer eyes descending to the side and down. Be with the breath as it moves in and moves out. Letting go. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your hands onto your abdomen and your chest. And bend your knees. Bring your feet on the floor. And feeling that grounding once more. The feet, the hips, the shoulders to the head. Take a few deeper breaths here. Allowing the depth of the breath to penetrate deep within you. And now roll onto your right side. Resting there for a few breaths. Bring your knees up towards your chest, like you were in a fetal position. You can take your hands on your legs. And now press yourself up. Come back to any stable seated position. Bring your hands on your knees. A gentle press of the hands. Move your shoulders back over your hips. Take a few deeper breaths here. Bring your hands into Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this 3-day practice. I hope either it's helped you to jumpstart your practice, to begin a practice, or to continue your practice. No matter what, getting on the mat each day, no matter what you do, no matter how long, just starting, and then once you're there, your body will know what to do. So, thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.